Hi, so tell me the last time you opened a bottle of sweet wine. There's a fairly good chance it was probably last Christmas. So here we are again, having a look at some sweet wines from Australia. The change to dry wines really only happened in the sort of late 60s, early 70s. And sweet wines, because of that, have faded somewhat, which is a shame because they are really amazing wines. I've picked 6 wines here for us to have a look at. A mix of a dessert wine and also a couple of fortifieds. All are going to be lovely at Christmas time for different reasons. So we start off with the classic Moscato, light, fresh, tropical, fruity, and some fizz as well. If Grant's doing a pavlova, that Moscato is going to be absolutely stunning. The next 3 sweet wines here, though, sort of cover the main traditional ways of making sweet wine around the world. We've got the Pressing Matters late picked Riesling. So late picking means that you leave the grapes on the vines past ripeness and those grapes dry and shrivel on the vine. Next up is the Mosswood Botrytis Semillon. Sometimes when you leave your grapes on the vines, depending on where you are climatically, you'll get fog and moisture coming in, so you'll get mould growing on the grapes. There's a particular mould called Botrytis cinerea. A lot of people call it noble rot, and that draws moisture from the grapes as well, dries them out, and also that mould adds its own flavour as well. And the last one is a bit more of a rarity. This is the Fraser Gallop ice pressed Chardonnay. These are wines that the grapes have actually frozen on the vines. So they are picked frozen and then crushed still frozen. The sugars and flavours come out during the crushing process, but the water doesn't because it's still ice. This one's done in manufactured conditions because nothing's freezing in Margaret River. So these grapes are picked, they're gently frozen down to minus 16 degrees, and then they're crushed frozen in a very gentle press to get a really rich concentrated juice out of them. So the Moscato, this is from Lake Breeze, South Australia. Passion fruit and mango, florals. It's sweet, but there's a nice sort of citrus lime freshness to it as well. And that nice spritz gives it a nice lift as well. So as I said before, something like Mum's Pavlova would be fantastic, or a passion fruit sort of dessert, light fruit, things like that. Next up, the Pressing Matters. R139 refers to 139 grams per litre of sugar. Riesling is a high acid grape, so it suits dessert wines. They can get ripe, but they hold their acidity. Mango and guava on that. Sweeter here, still got that lovely vital acidity. I'm thinking with that, we're looking for slightly fuller desserts like a panna cotta or a crème brûlée perhaps. If you're doing some duck liver pate or if you've got some foie gras, that will work nicely there as well. Next up is the Mosswood Botrytis Semillon. It's a lot deeper, more of a golden hue. And the thing about Botrytis is it really does change the aromatic profile. You do still have the citrus notes that come from the Semillon, but it's more about marmalade, orange peel, a bit of candied ginger on the nose. It's rich, it's luscious, but there's still that little zip of acidity. I would be leaning less from desserts, bringing that out with some blue cheese or some washed rinds, any of those sort of pungent, strong cheeses, the salty ones, that's going to sing beautifully with. And the Fraser Gallop, the iced Chardonnay. This is a really unique wine made in Australia, and what I like about this one is it actually smells like Chardonnay. So there's cashews and stone fruits. It has some oak treatment there as well, so super sweet and rich, but again, acidity, a little bit of tannins from the oak keeps that in balance. Similar to the Mosswood Botrytis Semillon, goes nicely with crème brûlées and richer desserts. The cheese board would be fantastic as well, or just sitting out and enjoying a little glass of sticky, because that's the beauty of these wines. They are almost dessert in themselves. Now, our last 2 here in the fortified category, Australia's famous in these particular styles. 2 fortified muscats, one from Rutherglen, but also one from the Swan Valley. The Swan Valley got as much a history of producing fortified wines pretty much as Rutherglen, and they've adopted the same framework about how old the Solera systems are. I've picked 2 completely opposite ends of the spectrum here. The first one is Andrew Buller's Muscat. That's an entry-level one. When they're younger, they're lighter, they're fresher, there's more acidity. There's a fruity sweetness without it being overtly nutty and rich and intense. This one's going to go wonderfully with the cheese plate, a light Christmas cake. The Faber is a grand muscat, so that's getting right up into the older spectrum there. Richer, more intense, more weighty. This is Christmas cake in a glass. Pour some of that, the Faber Grand Muscat, over some good vanilla ice cream, and you're really away to the races. Wonderful sultana and raisin aromas. A little bit of fig and toffee there as well. And the colour is amber without being too dense. The palate's sweet and it has a richness to it, but it's not too cloying. There's a freshening acidity at the finish, lots of dried fruits, a bit of peel there, some toffee, and a nice little line of cedar wood, just giving it a little more savoury depth. That's a really good entry into the fortified muscat taupe scene. Then we've got the Faber Grand, deep amber, and it coats the glass when you swirl it as well. We've got walnuts and burnt toffee and grilled fig notes there. This is weighty and powerful. It's coating my whole mouth. Nutty rancio characters starting to build from its age. Then that deep core of dried fruits. This is Christmas cake in a glass. Get into these style of wines at Christmas. I'd suggest you get into these style of wines throughout the year. The great thing about most of these wines will last in the fridge open for a couple of weeks, no problem at all. Fortifieds, 6, 12 months, 2 years, forever, those ones will last. So you don't have to worry if you're wanting a glass of these throughout the year. So enjoy for Christmas.